you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Iron Lady sings it. That makes it official. Welcome to the show. We certainly appreciate you guys coming by. Thanks for coming by. As always, the Chris Voss Show is a giant family that loves you but doesn't judge you, at least not as harshly as your mother-in-law. She never liked you anyway. That all means that you should refer the show to your family, friends, and relatives. Hell, refer it to your mother-in-law. Maybe she'll like you more. I like that joke. I got to keep that one. So there you go. She might like you more if she understands you better. And if you watch the show, you learn so much amazing brainiac stuff. So, maybe she'll appreciate you, or at least she'll get some more funny in her life. Well, she hates you. So go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, youtube.com/Chris Voss, linkedin.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 1 on the Tickety Talking Chris Voss Facebook. We have another amazing guest on the show, and we bring you the smartest people in the world, like literally in the world. The CEOs, the billionaires, the White House presidential advisors, the Pulitzer Prize winners, the great authors, etc., etc. Marilyn Jenkins joins us on the show today. She's the CEO of MJ Media Group, LLC. She helps local businesses harness the power of Google to grow your business. I could use their budget, actually, more than anything. And she also is the CEO and founder of Law Marketing Zone. She helps local businesses grow with paid digital marketing and SEO since 2018. She helps clients reach 7 figures in revenue from her marketing. She brings clients 5x to 14x ROI from marketing efforts. Welcome to the show, Marilyn. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. I'm doing well.
Thank you, and we're happy to have you as well. Give us a 30,000, or we need a .com from you, if you could, of where to find you on the interwebs.
The most recent, I'm active on LinkedIn, but you can find my book that we're going to talk about at maximizeyourgbp.com and lawmarketingzone.com.
There you go. And give us a 30,000 overview. What's inside the book and what you do?
The biggest thing is I work with clients to grow in their local market. And it's surprising how many people don't realize the power of their Google Business Profile. They think it's just for reviews. So from the clients I've worked with and the people I've chatted with, I decided to put down in a book everything that we do for you. And so you can take it and to your own business and maximize your Google Business Profile and be found in your local searches.
There you go. So what officially is, for the layman, out there, people are like, what is my Google profile? Is that my search, listing, or tell us what that is?
Similar. It used to be called Google My Business, and it's basically Google, they take the yellow pages and dump it online and make everybody a listing. So it's a free business listing that Google puts out for every business, but you need to claim it and then verify it and then fill it out with all your information. And so it's basically a free website located on Google for your business.
There you go. You need to have that, because I've seen the profiles pop up for a lot of people, and they kind of dominate the page too when they pop up, don't they?
Exactly. And with you asking like the questions and answers and replying to any of your reviews and just doing posts. I mean, think of it like, a small blog as well. You can put new items, products and services, all of that on there to give Google more information about you so you show up in more searches.
Now, should you use your business address on the emails for those if you have a business that's online, or a brand account, or should you use your personal email? I
would suggest the business account and, have your business address complete, including if you're in a building that has a name, the building name. And then you also show, if someone's just generically looking at the map, there'll be pins of businesses and your business will show up.
Oh, wow. There you go. Really important to take and have this. Now, evidently, how much of a difference would you say this makes in being successful at being searched on Google?
I think it's incredibly important. Just one coaching client I had, she realized that her phone had stopped ringing or slowed down quite a bit, and had a look at her Google Business Profile, and there was some information missing, and one of her competitors had actually done a better job. So she spent a couple of days and got really detailed about her Google business profile, cleaned it up, made sure everything was correct. And literally within a couple of days, her phone started ringing again. So it's incredibly important for local searches.
There you go. And I'm not sure if this applied to Google profiles, but I had found a new local dog store and that I liked, and I could never find them on Google. And I'm like, I pass them all the time downtown. And I've seen their place, but every time I would put in, like dog store, and they had this really hard name called Synergy. For some reason, I just can't remember that name. Synergy Dog Store. And so I was always like, what was the name of the dog store? And I could never find it. I searched like the dog store listings, and I'm like, well, that doesn't look like any of them. They have pictures now, so you can kind of see. And so I started going in there, and I didn't really think anything of it. But then every time I'd be like, hey, I should find out if they're open, or they have these pig ears that I feed my dogs and stuff. I wonder if they're open. So I'm like, hey, what was the name of that thing? And I look them up on Google again, and they still wouldn't be there. And I'm like, man, I'm losing my mind. And that happened 2 or 3 times. And finally I went in and I told them, I says, hey, I can't ever find you Google search when I'm searching you. And they go, really? Well, check it. And I'm like, yeah, you should probably look into it because, you're not listed in the dog things, at least as far as I can see. Sure enough, they looked into it, and they were able to trace back to the time their sales had a huge fall off to the time that they discovered this with my help. And they thanked me when I went back in. They go, oh, my God, our sales dropped whenever this, whatever we got kicked off of Google or whatever happened. And now we're back. Thank you.
Wow.
Saved us.
I hope they gave you a free box of pig ears for that.
I should ask for that. should ask for that. My dog should ask for that. Hey, you guys. Anyway, so this is how important it is. I mean, they were kind of like, we were kind of struggling there for a bit.
It's incredibly important. And what Google gives you is 3 categories to be in. So like say it's a pet store, you could be dog food, cat food. So you could choose 3 categories. So whatever you search, you would be able to find them. You being a dog lover, you looking for dog. Yep. Someone who has cat, they could be found for that as well. So yeah, it makes a huge difference. Again, it is not just a place to park reviews.
Definitely makes all the difference in being able to find what you're doing. So how long have you been in this business? How'd you get into it?
I've been doing digital marketing for local businesses since 2010, and through referrals got into paid digital ad management for people, which is a faster to revenue, obviously, and so you can start getting leads pretty quickly. And just looking at the synergy between if you're running Google Ads, by connecting your Google business profile to it, you'll get better results and you'll get better weight in the ads because you are taking advantage of multiple Google services.
There you go. And so you're going to show up in search and everything else better. With your book, Google Business Profile Training Guide, tell us what's inside that.
It's 120 pages that step by step what you need to do to claim it, verify it, and then the pieces and steps to optimize it so that you can take advantage of all the pieces that Google provides you in there, where it's, question and answers, it's specials, it's photos and videos. And a lot of people use the Google Maps Street View for the front of their business. And you can also take pictures if you're a service provider and you've got a truck that has a sign on it or a car with a sign on it. When you're out at a job, take photos with the location verification and turned on your phone and post those pictures. And it tells Google that you are valid further away from your address. So if someone, say, the next town over does a search and your Google business profile is really cleaned up and totally optimized and you've added these photos with the location on it, you could possibly show up in the maps at the next town over.
There you go. And you want to be able to show up in your locale and everything. That's always important as well, so that people can take and find you. And people don't realize how important these things really are, right?
Well, true. And again, Google, the maps, when you look at the state of Google search right now, someone searches, the first 3 are paid ads. The next section is the maps. Right. And then below that is organic and then more ads. Google has verified that 60 to 80% of the people that search start at the maps. So, it's visually appealing. Obviously, you've got the map there, and then you've got those 3 listings that give a little business card type information on the business, and then you can click on it and find more information. It's incredibly important for a local business these days.
Makes all the difference in the world when it comes down to it. So from there, How can you use what you call GBP to drive traffic to a website and phone calls to your office?
So by maximizing your Google Business Profile, which is filling it out like we talked about, and then consistently adding things like, say, maybe once or twice a week you add a photo or you add a question, or even what we do for our clients is we do articles. So every week you get a new human written, not AI, human written article that's posted to your website as well as your Google Business Profile. So it gives them more and more information. And that way, the more information you give them, the more often you're going to show up in the searches. And there's a phone button, a website button, and a directions button that's included. So those are the three main ways that people will find you. And by looking at the business insights in the back of your Google Business Profile, you can see which one is performing the best.
There you go. Now, with the Google Business Profile, is that only for brick and mortar companies that have a street address? What if you're like an online company only? Like, you're not having people show up at your place.
Yeah, you can still do it, and you can choose to not have your address shown publicly, but you still have to have an address to receive that postcard.
Ah.
So they do a physical verification. So if you're 100% virtual and you don't want your home address being anywhere there, then that could be problematic. But they do give better weight to people that have an address published.
Ah, that's always important to have the address.
Yes. But for your local services, electricians, plumbers, bookstores, cafes, there's no reason not to have your address on there and take advantage of people when they're searches when people are looking for you.
There
and
you
again,
go.
like you said, the hours of that store, you were looking to see if they're open.
Yep.
That's one of the features in your Google Business Profile.
Yeah. I mean, the Chris Voss Show is an online. We do have a business address in Vegas, but mainly it's so people can send us hate mail from the show. So there's that. No one's ever sent us hate mail from this show. That's 15 years. That'll be a surprise. That now I just probably cursed it. I'm probably going to get
now you'll get something, right?
We're going to be like, I heard you never got hate mail. Usually the hate mail comes on YouTube from the trolls. Now, how does this combine with using digital ads to grow the business?
We use digital ads depending on the client. We can do Facebook ads or we do Google ads. But if you do Google ads or even Google Guaranteed, by connecting it to your Google Business Profile, again, you get more weight when it comes to Google. There are theories. Of course, no one ever knows exactly what the algorithm is about, but there are theories that if you're running good Google ads and you've maximized and consistently update your Google Business Profile, your ads may outbid or may be shown when you are outbid.
So get an edge, maybe?
Get an edge. We call it a little extra Google juice.
Little juice. Google juice. I'm having some right now. Oh, wait, this is coconut water. I have some every morning in my coffee. The Google juice. You don't want to know what's in it. Trust me. There you go. That's all the jokes we have for that one. Do you need to hire a professional to help with online presence and managing all this stuff?
You don't. I've worked with over 150 clients and I've spoken to lots more. And there are a lot of businesses out there that just are not yet in the position to outsource their marketing, but it's still incredibly important. So that's why I decided to write a book for all of those people to take advantage of that and learn how to do it and and maximize it so that you can get more phone calls, get more sales, and get more clients.
There you go. And everybody likes that. More sales, more clients, more business, and all that good stuff. How much time do you have to dedicate to managing this GPB?
I would say probably 20, 30 minutes a week. Really? It really doesn't take a lot. I mean, writing the articles that, if you want to go the direction of writing an article about your business, that's fine. But more importantly is the Q&A. There's a question and answer section. So what I suggest to my clients and the people that buy the book is think about the top 5 questions that every client asks you. Okay. If you get the same question over and over again, what we've always done on websites is that goes in your FAQ. That's exactly what you put on your Q&A. So what you're doing is you're answering questions before they come up for people that want to do business with you.
Ah, there you go. And then they don't have to call you as much for stupid questions like, what are your hours? That's the most annoying thing. Like if I'm on Yelp or Google and I don't have the hours, or no, hold on. I mean that differently. The most annoying thing is if the hours are wrong.
Oh, well, that's true.
I hate that. There was a restaurant I'd wanted to try for a million years, and I finally got around to trying them, and I drove over to their place, and I walked in. I was able to walk in, and there was like a whole mess of people sitting at a table, and it was the employees and the management, and they're like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here to eat," and it showed they were going to be open for another hour, and they're like, we we're not open right now. We were just having a meeting. That's why the door was open. And because I just walked right in and walked right up to the counter. And they go, yeah, sorry, and I'm like, well, it shows here on Yelp and Google or whatever it was, you're open. And they go, oh yeah, we changed that. And yeah, it was, well, you probably should update someone. Well, guess what place I'd never gone back to.
There's a I used to go to, and it was so funny. I always chose Wednesday to go, and Wednesday it shows they're open.
Yeah.
Well, Wednesdays they're one day they're closed. So I'm like, and it's one of those things you think, oh, let's go have blah blah blah, and it's that day, right? You're like, okay, let's all meet there, and we all meet there. It's closed. So I finally told him you should update that and let us know that you're closed because your Google Business Profile shows you're open 7 days a week. Oh no, we're not open 7 days a week.
Yeah, I've seen stuff with they're open 24/7, and you're like, I know they're not open 24/7.
Yeah, a lot of law firms do that because they'll have an after-hours answering service that can talk to people.
Tricky.
So it depends on the business. If you've got the ability to take phone calls after hours, then do that. But if you don't, make sure your business hours are accurate on there.
Yeah, I just usually tell people, hey, go ahead and call us because we want to answer. One thing that's gotten really popular lately is there's companies now that they don't really take calls, they take texts. Mm-hmm. So like if you call them, they're like, hey, can you text us over here? We only do text. And you can actually hire, I guess, over the Philippines, some people to handle that for you. So you don't even have to do that locally. We had somebody on who was doing that, and I was just like, it's kind of brilliant, actually.
Well, and you can set your Google Business Profile to do messaging, and it'll actually SMS text message you.
You know what? That same Synergy company that I mentioned earlier, the last time I went over there, I wanted to see if they had pig ears in because I buy all of them out. They sell them really cheap for like $2 a pop. I shouldn't say that on the air because we'll start buying from them internationally. And so I wanted to see about them, and I knew I had to text them, but I looked up. I think I searched them on Google, and this thing popped up, and it was that thing you're talking about where it was like, hey, this is Google. Do you want to text these folks and communicate with them? They have this ability now. And somehow I guess they turned it on. And I was like, well, this is kind of interesting. I guess this is a new thing, whatever. And so I sent a message through it, and they eventually replied after I got there. So they're still getting up to speed on it, but it worked. They had my pig ears, so I couldn't complain. They're nice people. But yeah, I'd never seen that before. That was the first time I've ever seen that. Is it new or has it been around for a while?
Yeah, they're rolling out. There's new features being rolled out all the time. But definitely the texting has been around for, I guess, 6 or 8 months now.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah, so I mean, it's so important because speaking of something new, Google is also doing a lot of zero-click search. Mm-hmm. So if you've ever done a search looking for some research or whatever, whether it's a YouTube video or a Wikipedia, the answer to your search shows up right there. The YouTube video may actually have a timestamp of where the answer to your question is. So Google's getting to the point where they don't want you going away to another website to get the answer. So instead of it just being a link to go get the answer, what you get is they've given you the answer there so you don't have to click. So the more information you give on your Google Business Profile, again, those questions and answers, any blog post type things you want to put on there, offers, events, that could play into the zero-click search as well.
Oh, wow. The zero-click search. They're coming up with all sorts of ways, man. It's just all sorts of
It's keeping the traffic on the platform.
There you go. And yeah, I mean, they don't want people going to Bing, I'm sure. So nobody likes Bing anyway, do they?
No. It's like Yahoo. Do anybody use Yahoo anymore?
We had somebody on the show, I don't know, a few months ago that had an AOL address, and I think we saw a Lycos and a Yahoo last year. And I was just like, they still make you? What? Someone's probably still paying the $20 to AOL every month.
I still chuckle every time I see an AOL address. Yeah.
It took me years to get my mom to get off AOL and get rid of the AOL thing. And trying to explain to her, I'm like, Mom, you don't need AOL to mount the internet. So there you go. What platforms are most important for local search?
Platforms, I would say if obviously your Google Business Profile, but Facebook is important. And it really depends on your ideal customer's age. Everybody should have a Facebook page just so they can have a place to talk more about what they do, showcase events, photos, that sort of thing. If your audience is younger, then Instagram as well. But most people go to Facebook, and while they're on Facebook, they may look up something locally. and being in local groups. There's a lot of local groups that are to support their area, and being listed in there or being active. And active doesn't mean being on Facebook every single day, but if you're there, why not spend 5 minutes actually promoting your business? And of course, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very good for lots of businesses, not just the, C-suite and suit and tie type people. Have a LinkedIn page, a profile, and have a page for your business. Because you never know when people search LinkedIn that are looking to do business with other businesses.
That's true. That's true. You got to have all those tied in together and have all the business pages and all that stuff going on. What are some of the best practices for maintaining a positive online reputation? Should you post politics all the time on your business page?
Oh my God, no. No politics, no religion, right? Never have those conversations.
There you go. No conspiracy theories either, people.
So. No. No, but it is a good idea when you get a Google review, whether it's good or bad, to reply to them. Especially if it's bad. If you've got a lot of good reviews and you get one bad one, well, people are going to look and see how you responded. If you respond nasty, then they're not going to want to do business with you. If you respond professionally, well, now they can understand.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that on certain Yelp reviews. There was I don't know, throw someone under the bus on this, or at least a whole nation of people. But there were some gentlemen that were from a foreign country. I'll just say that, and they evidently were doing some muckety business where they were selling auto parts, and the auto parts were never being delivered, even though they appeared to be shipped. And basically the manifests were being made. And so people were complaining on the Google page that they were being scammed. And you could see the little dude writing all these nuthead, angry, vicious replies to people on Google. It was really interesting to take a look at. And it turns out it was quite the little auto parts scam that was being run. Wow. And and then I've seen other reviews with people that, whether they're good or bad, I've seen the owners of the companies, which are actually sometimes, they've got a few locations, and the owners in there thanking people and, we'll work on that. We'll try and do better next time. Please come back. It really makes a difference. Most times when you go see most reviews, no one's paying attention to any of them, evidently. But,
well, true. But you can see their personality. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially, it comes out say you get a 1-star review from someone that really never did business with you and you can't figure out where it came from. Mm-hmm. Well, kindly say that. There's always, when I read, say, even Amazon reviews before buying something, I take the 1 stars with a grain of salt based on the way they speak.
That's true. That's true. Sometimes they're haters from other companies and trolls from other companies. I've seen a lot of that. Anytime we get some sort of hateful thing on like YouTube or something, they clearly listen to like a minute of the video, and you're like, did you sit down and listen to the whole thing? And then you go to their YouTube account and it's just nothing. It's just basically a troll account. We actually have some videos that from some speakers we did and some other things that are under constant troll attack from competitors because those, whatever that video is, are ruling in the category of speakers or whatever. And so they're trying to tear down our video so they can get their review mounted up. So there's a lot of that crap going on in the marketplace. And
it's keyboard warriors, they don't have to show, they don't have to, you can be as mean as you want because you're not looking at somebody's face. I'm over the anonymous of trolls. I really don't, okay, great. If you're in some country like Russia or, China, where you're massively repressed and you've got to hide your identity, great. But, here in the free world, we just need to force everybody to be honest about who they are. I think that would eliminate a lot of crap. I don't know, but that's just me. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if you live in America, do you really need to hide from something? I don't know. Maybe you do. The police, maybe. Other than that, but maybe those are half the people that are probably trolls. They have warrants out for arrest and they're just hiding in a basement somewhere. What are some things we haven't touched on that people should know about Google Business Profile and Google Search?
I think the value of paid ads is very important. If your business is in a position for that and you have the budget for it, running Facebook ads is a great way of getting your business out there. You can do branding, you can do videos, you can do success stories, you can do specials. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and you can do that. And then, of course, with that, you're basically interrupting the scroll. So you want to be very good about, your image or your videos needs to like stop the scroll kind of thing. But thinking about the difference on Google, by running Google ads, even at low budgets, what you're doing is you can be available whenever people search for you, right? So the leads you get from Google are going to be more higher intent because they're looking for something. So if you're running Google ads, and of course you've maximized your Google business profile, when someone locally does a search for you, you're going to come up.
There you go. And that's what you want to do. You want to be that top of the search. I mean, you can put dead bodies all over page 2 of Google search. No one's ever going to find them.
Well, that's the question I ask about the maps. It's like, how many times do you go to page 2? Nobody else does.
Nobody does. Yeah. And those maps do help. I use them a lot, especially with the view that, it looks like the real thing, the street view. Because I'll be like, yeah, I know that business is over there somewhere. I saw someone, I can't remember his name. And so I'll use that, and I know what street it's on. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, there it is right there. And that thing is highly useful.
Yes, the street view is great because you can look around and find the business. And as you turn around, you can actually see a 3D of the space you're in. It's really good.
Yeah, it really works. So with your book, what are you hoping people come away from after they order your book off your website?
I hope they see the power of their Google business profile. And, in addition to the book, one of the additional services that we offer or additional products we offer are SOPs. So standard operating procedures. So say you're a busy business person, you want to maximize your Google business profile, you just don't have the time. You can take these SOPs and give them to a team member, and literally step by step, click by click, it shows them how to do it.
Now, why is it important to hold to best practices when doing this? Can I just do evil? Can I just do evil?
You could do it evil, but what kind of clients are you going to, or will you get clients?
Might be interesting. I mean, Satan, Beelzebub, the beast, something. I don't know. I mean, if I'm running the satanic church, this might work.
Well, that's true.
That's true. Thanks for evil. $1 billion. Anyway, so this is a great opportunity for people to think about this. It looks like I need to go work on ours. One of the challenges we have on ours is there's a Chris Voss, workspace email that we have for the Chris Voss show. And then I have the oldest thing in the world, which is my Chris Voss Gmail account. Sounds like I want to try and be using my workspace Gmail account as opposed to my old one, even though it's been around for 50 trillion years.
I think if it's monitored, yeah. I mean, but make sure that it's monitored in case someone does email you. But most of the time through your Google Business Profile, it's going to be a phone call, a text message, or they're going to go to your website.
Yeah, it's monitored. I had my Google Gmail account, just plain old Gmail, for 50 trillion years, and then they came up with all that workspace crap, and I was like, well, I guess we should set up a thing for the company. But I suppose I should work on that company one because that's the one that spies ads and stuff. And that would
connect the two, and exactly.
But it looks like in mine, I can't change the pictures and stuff. I'm supposing I'm going to have to go into admin to do that. The Google admin account, and change all that stuff and do all that. So fun is fun. Looks like I got some work cut out for me now. Thanks, Marilyn. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Got to do some work now. Darn it. So there you go. Final thoughts as we go out. Pitch people on how to pick up your book, order it, and where they can do it on the website.
Absolutely. You can find the book at maximizeyourgbp.com. And for the audience of your show, I've got a coupon that will allow them to get the book for only $5. And that coupon is Chris Voss 5.
Let's see. Let me get that down here. Chris Voss 5. All one word?
All one word.
Okay. There you go. And then 5 is the letter or the
number?
Okay, the number 5. There you go. Order, folks, wherever on her website you'll have to go to where fine books are sold, and all that good stuff. Thank you very much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love your show and I loved your book. I'm just honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thanks, John, for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss, one of the TikTokity, and Chris Voss, Facebook.com. It's everywhere. Just go there. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys next time. And that should